Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to Man Cave Meals. Today we're going to start a new cooking project. I've got about a 5-pound slab of pork belly here, and we're going to convert this into some smoked bacon. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we need to do to get fired up on this bacon is start with our cure, our dry cure. And I'm going to start out with 1/2 of a cup of coarse grain sea salt and 1/2 of a cup of packed brown sugar. I've got about 3 tablespoons of freshly ground black pepper. I've got 2 teaspoons of curing salt, and this is the Prague Powder #1. I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of ground clove and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground allspice. So I'm just going to get my whisk out and we're going to get that completely mixed up. Okay, I've got here a 5-pound pork belly. This particular pork belly is not the best looking one I've ever had. It's got some gaps in it and it's got some cuts on the inside edge here that I'm not real fond of, but I got this from Sam's Club and it's going to work just fine for bacon. So this one does not have a skin on it. If your pork belly has the skin still on it, you're going to want to trim that off first. So what we're going to do to get started here is we're just going to start coating this with our rub. We're going to get a nice heavy coat of that on here. And then we're going to flip it and coat the other side. And we're just going to put on all of that dry rub that we made, this curing rub. And we're going to use every bit of that in this process because we're going to just get this onto this meat. And we're going to put this in a 2-gallon Ziploc bag and put it in the refrigerator. If you want to vacuum seal it in a vacuum seal bag, you can do that also. That's a pretty efficient way to handle this. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put this in our Ziploc bag. Any of the dry rub that I've got left behind, I'm going to dump it into the bag with it. And this is going to go into the refrigerator for 10 days. And every day as I walk by the refrigerator, at least once a day, I'm going to reach in here and I'm going to flip this over because you're going to see this start to pull liquid out of this meat. And that's part of the curing process. And we're just going to flip the bag once a day, every day for 10 days to make sure that this cure gets completely into all of this meat. Okay, so our pork belly with all of that cure is in the bag. I'm going to seal it up almost all the way to the edge, and then I'm just going to try to push as much air out as we can. We're not going to be able to get most of it out, so we're just going to seal the bag. It's going into the refrigerator, and we're going to flip it once a day, every day for 10 days, and then we'll be back. Okay, our bacon has been curing for 10 days. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to take this pork belly out of the plastic and drain off the liquid that's there. I'm going to rinse it completely, and then I'm going to soak it in a full sink of water for about 30 minutes. Alright, we've rinsed this thing off. I've soaked it in water to soak off some of the excess salt. I've put it on a rack on a baking sheet, and we're going to put this in the refrigerator for 4 hours to help dry this out and build a little bit of pellicle on here where some smoke can adhere to it. So we'll be back. Okay guys, I ended up letting this stay in the refrigerator for about 8 hours instead of 4, but that's fine. You can go anywhere from 4 to 24 hours or even 48 hours on this. What I've done is I've pulled it out and I've rubbed the outer surface of it with a thin layer of maple syrup. So now we're going to put this on the grill. Okay, I've got the Yoder YS640 fired up here and we're running at about 190 degrees. So we're going to take this pork belly, we're going to toss it on here, and I'm just going to go fat side down. And we're going to go until we get an internal temperature in the meat of about 150 degrees or so. Hey guys, after about 4 hours or so, I think we're where we want to be. I've got some nice color on that, some nice smoke. So what we do next is we just take this guy off the grill and I'm going to put it back on a rack, and it's going to go in the refrigerator, and I'm going to chill it completely. And I'm going to chill it for a little bit, then I'm going to wrap it in plastic and put it back in the refrigerator and let it settle in overnight, and we'll come back tomorrow to slice this guy up. Okay guys, I chilled this overnight and I took a piece of it out. I sliced a few off of here. I like mine sliced fairly thick. You can slice these with a knife. You can slice it on a slicer, however you like. And if you vacuum seal it and put it in the freezer, this stuff will keep for a really long time. So let's cook a couple pieces of this. Okay, I'm going to toss a couple of strips of this in this pan and get it going. And through the magic of time, as they say, this bacon's ready. So let me drain this off and we'll have a taste. Alright guys, let's have a taste of this. Guys, that's perfect. Absolutely amazing. You'll not buy bacon any better than what you can make at home, and you can make it for less money. Give this a try. Let me know what you think. And until next time, this is John Setzler with Man Cave Meals.